Alright, Palo Alto. I don't think I've really done a full review for this, audio review, so here we go. I've done obviously written stuff about it, but anyway, okay, so here's the thing. There's some really good things about this movie. Like, the soundtrack is awesome. Like, really good. It's well shot, it's a really good cast. Um, but overall, it's just a bit, like, it's okay, but it's not anywhere near as good as the other Emma Roberts films, and that's why this one kind of falls a bit short. I mean, it's watchable, it's quite enjoyable, but at the end of it, you just sort of feel a bit like, oh, that's it, because this is directed from Sofia Coppola's sister, Gia Coppola, um, and it kind of sort of feels a bit like that movie that Sofia Coppola made Somewhere quite a few years ago, which was kind of a lesser work. It wasn't that great. And this kind of feels the same way. I mean, I think I slightly prefer this to Somewhere, but Somewhere kind of felt a bit all over the place. And this kind of does feel a bit over the place. But I think Somewhere was a bit more over the place. It's just, there's problems with it. Like, for example, the characters are really interesting, like, but the movie doesn't give them as much time as you would like to spend with them, and the film's just shy of 90 minutes, and that alone says a problem there. Because I mean, there are films that are 90 minutes that are really good and pack everything in, but I just feel like this with this film, there's not much of a story. It's more about what the characters are doing, and that's fine, but it's just fine, and it should be much more than that. It's not like it's kind of a funny story, or it's not even like The Art of Getting By, which got better on the second viewing, and it's still like a decent film at first, kind of, it's okay. Um, and I prefer those other Emma Roberts movies, and she's fantastic in the movie. I mean, she holds the scenes and she plays April really well, and James Franco and the chemistry between them is really good. I felt something changed a little bit watching it now the third time I've seen it now because I own it on DVD disc now. That I do think Emma Roberts is in it more than I sort of complained before in the past, because I kind of felt Teddy and Nat Wolff were the best thing of the entire film because they had the most screen time. Well, I kind of feel like Emma Roberts pretty much has the same amount of screen time as them, so that has changed, but still the opinion hasn't. I think it's just quite good, and yeah. I mean, Nat Wolff is fantastic. I think he's a fantastic actor, and he's really like shot up in the last few years, and he's amazing. Like really, like wow. And this new guy, what's his name? Let's get the DVD. Is it Bill Kilmer? No, Jack Kilmer. Jack Kilmer, which I guess is related to Val Kilmer, who's only in one scene, which just feels a bit like, well, they're related then, or something? Is that why he got in the movie? I mean, I don't really get why. You see that character once, and then he's just gone for the rest of the entire film. I mean, I guess it's supposed to say in one way that he's unpleasant, so forget about him, but it just seems weird how, if they are related, that Jack Kilmer, who plays Teddy, is fantastic in the movie. I've never really seen him before in anything, but I think he's great in this. Um, that he has more screen time than Val Kilmer, and yeah, that's a bit weird. I don't get that. But I have to say though that in terms of also, I guess it has to apply to Nat Wolff films. It is also a bit of a downgrade. I mean, it's just like The Fault in Our Stars, or you could just think of so many other films he's been in. They're so much better than this. What about what's that film? Stuck in Love. Stuck in Love. Oh, he's brilliant in that film. That was a really great performance. It was a great film. Finally, rom-com that redeemed the genre after about so many years of dreadful ones. Just felt like crazy stupid love. 2 years later after that 500 Days of Summer came out, like yes we're back, and then a few years later then we had to wait so long. No. But yeah, overall, I'm going off topic a bit there. But so it's okay. I think, like I say, there are some really good things about it, like the soundtrack, the cast, the look of it. I mean, it's quite good pacing, but not great. But yeah, so it's okay. I think if she's going to continue being in sort of the thing of her sister, maybe she should have stronger scripts. Because I think that Sofia Coppola made like Lost in Translation. You look at that film; it was about somebody who's kind of lost, and then this film is kind of similar to that. That she's trying to sort of do something that she also kind of did with Somewhere. That these characters kind of feel out of place, and while that's interesting, I just think the film could have really hit something, and it never really hit that something. It just kind of stayed at mediocre level, and that's the disappointment with it. I think that you'll go back to it and watch it, but you just know it's the same. That there may be great things about it, but underneath it, it's not the best film that like Nat Wolff has been in or Emma Roberts has been in, and especially James Franco. So that's what I have to say.